Well, hey everyone, welcome to our Bales Ask Me Anything Informative Friday. Rebecca, could you advance the slide?
Sure.
All right, so before we get started, I'm going to do just a quick overview of who Bales is. Again, my name is Dave Thomas. I'm Vice President of Sales for Bales and Associates, and we've been in the Infor ecosystem for over 26 years. We are entirely Infor focused. We do nothing but Infor implementations, upgrades, and managed services, and we support all aspects of the technology, including S3, Landmark, and Cloud Suite, the HCM, finance, and supply chain products, as well as the technology surrounding Infor. In fact, we've been recognized and given partnering awards in 8 out of the last 10 years, and our consulting 15 plus years in the space with the equivalent of professional experience. Some are former benefits managers, compensation managers, directors of supply chain, as well as former controllers and CFOs. And we were real excited at the beginning of 2021 because we were awarded by the industry, a healthcare industry ranking organization called CLASS. We were awarded as a, sorry, I lost my notes here, slipped. CLASS interviewed, we were awarded as best in class by the CLASS independent organization that ranks healthcare IT performers. Bales was recognized as top of class for 2020 and 2021 in the Infor partner ecosystem. We are the best organization to deliver a successful Cloud Suite implementation according to Infor customers. Some additional exciting news for us this year was we merged with a company called Nordic Consulting. Nordic Consulting is a industry-leading healthcare consulting firm and will operate as a wholly owned subsidiary and continue to be led by Jamie Bales. Nordic will provide us with resources to fund our growth, expand our business, and support our customers more effectively. For healthcare customers, it allows us to bring together the Nordic capabilities in the EHR space to provide a more holistic solution, including specific expertise in EHR and ERP integrations. This combination will offer us a best practices model for reducing implementation risks and leveraging the data from both systems to drive insights and outcomes. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Rebecca. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Dave. So first of all, I'd like to start off by saying that we want you to have a frighteningly good time today as we approach the weekend. So I encourage you to interact with us using the buttons on the WebEx. So you can raise your hand, celebrate, laugh, etc. So here's an example of the button that you're going to look for to react, since we can't, I do encourage you to speak up if you have a question or if you want to respond, but most people have their mics on mute all the time. So if you look for this button, you'll find the reaction button. So I would like to know, first of all, if you can hear me okay. So just to test this out, if you could just give me a thumbs up if you're comfortable with the volume. Perfect. Awesome. And some of you may have more sensitive ears, so give me a thumbs up if I'm a little too loud. My kids say I yell when I'm talking into a speakerphone or Bluetooth. Perfect. All right. So you may hear a few nerdy jokes or puns here and there, but please no boos, because I startle easily. Feel free to raise your hand, and if you didn't get it, that was my first joke.
I can't say anything.
Thank you, Molly.
Okay, got it.
Thank you, Jody. So if you're ready to get started, without further delay, give me a hand clap and we'll move forward because it's Friday, people. Awesome. Thank you. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I'm Rebecca Bales. I have over 30 years of experience in accounting, financial planning and analysis, systems implementations, project management, and information technology management. I began my career as an audit team member in public accounting And after I left public accounting, I worked in the retail and professional services industries. I joined Bales and Associates in March of this year after getting to know their reputation in the Infor space as a client. And I'm passionate about executing effective and efficient solutions for complex business challenges. I hope that we at Bales and Associates can help you on your Infor journey. And I will skip the distinguished guest for just a moment and go ahead and let Craig introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Craig Sherman, the finance practice lead at Bales for the Infor practice, which is actually our only practice, which is good. I have over 21 years in Infor financial implementations, consulting, upgrades. So I'll be in the background assisting Rebecca any way I can, which I doubt will be hardly at all. And happy Halloween, everybody. This should be a fun session. Thanks.
And Mark?
Sure. Thanks, Rebecca. Now I'm extremely curious about this the mystery guest. But yeah, Mark Borsheim. I've been using the Lawson Infor application since 2005 for a long time as a customer, and then of course as a consultant here with Bales for the last 5.5 years or so. So typically working with the finance folks. That's my passion as a CPA, but also do a lot of work overseeing our supply chain and technology practices. So I'm excited, and yeah, happy Halloween, like Craig said. And actually on our finance team, I don't think he's on here, but we do have a Halloween birthday in John Simpson somewhere around here. So happy birthday to those out there.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Craig and Mark. And now for the unveiling of our distinguished guest, who is no stranger to numbers. You, like I, may have even studied under his expert tutelage. I'd like to introduce Count Von Count as our distinguished guest, who in my mind is the leading numbers enthusiast of all time, and he may even be the reason I became an accountant. So throughout this presentation, you will see wise guidance come from him today. Feel free to ask him questions as well, but he really likes to stay in the background on this particular presentation. I don't have his accent down. I would like to point out our disclaimer that this material is in reference to N4 V11. This presentation is for informational purposes only. We just want to provide you with considerations as you make the best decision for your organization. Reliance on the information presented without consultation is at your own risk. We highly recommend that you contact Bales to discuss how solutions can be tailored to your specific needs. So you might ask yourself, did I black out and miss the presentation? No, you didn't. This format just differs a bit from our other webinars. So I'll offer a little background regarding this presentation on the next slide, just in case you're not aware, and to let you know the intended format for this webinar. We wanted to hear what folks would like to learn about in the N4 finance space. And to get that feedback, we solicited questions through social media posts in September and October. In this webinar, we will answer a few questions submitted in advance by clients and/or consultants. And if we have time at the end of the webinar, please feel free to ask me anything, and we'll do our best to answer, time permitting. The first question coming up is a cobwebs in the attic kind of question. And here it is. When we issue customer refunds, we add a vendor in our AP system, so we end up with a lot of vendors that aren't really vendors. It takes time to set them up, and then it takes time to keep the vendor master lists clean. Is there a better way to do this? Yes, there is a better way in either N4 Lawson or N4 FSM, and it's actually rather simple. You can set up a single vendor in accounts payable for processing cash management payments. Then the payments can be processed in one of two ways. by interfacing programs to upload the payment data to the cash management module from third-party systems, or by creating individual payments in cash management manually. And we're going to cover the detailed steps for accomplishing this in FSM. And that is financials and supply management. Sorry about that. So basically the first step is to add a payables vendor to be used for the purpose of cash management payments. You could define customer refunds as the vendor name or anything that makes sense for your organization. In this example, we used refund vendor as the vendor name. So once the special dummy vendor has been created, the cash accountant initiates the cash payment transaction by navigating to Process Cash Ledger and selecting Payment Entry. The cash accountant enters the appropriate payment information on the main tab of the payment entry form. And notice that we chose the refund vendor in the vendor field on the form. The post date acts as the payment due date when scheduling payments. You can see from the screenshots here that a file can be attached as backup. And also the cash payment entry can be routed for approval. In this case, we did not attach a file or route for approval, in this example. So after completion of the main tab, the cash accountant navigates to the payee information tab and enters the specific payee information for this refund. When payment is made for this payment entry, it will reflect the appropriate payee information entered on this tab. As you can see here, it seems that Count Von Count has requested a refund. Upon saving at this point, the distribution tab becomes available. The cash accountant navigates to the distribution tab, enters the appropriate expense information, and clicks Save. The cash ledger payment may then be released by the cash accountant, and the other side of the entry to the appropriate cash account will be added as another line on the distribution tab. That's shown in the second line in this screenshot. The payables solution is now required to close the payment cycle. The payables payment processor performs cash requirements and selects appropriate option for including cash ledger payments in the requirements run. So you can see here there are two options for including cash ledger payments: either just include cash ledger payments in the cash requirements, or include both payables and cash ledger payments. And the cash ledger payments that meet the due date parameters for the cash requirements will be included in the cash requirements results. You would then process as normal. And while the instructions here are specific to FSM, this can now also be accomplished in N4 Lawson, and Count says, because he loves numbers, use CB 55.1 for that. Are there any questions related to that?
I don't see anything in the chat right now.
Okay, perfect. Next question is a haunting one. And the question is, we've heard there are no form or screen numbers in FSM. When we move from N4 Lawson, what will we do without all our screen numbers? So you're right about the screen numbers, but there is no need to be fearful. It's so simple to search by keywords in FSM. And you can add bookmarks easily, and even bookmarks with your familiar screen numbers from S3 if you want a little shortcut, and a transition period. Oops, sorry about that. So we're going to give you an example in a video. The Count has put together a short presentation. It's a silent video to step through the process of searching and adding bookmarks and including those sweet screen numbers. So it will cover creating bookmarks folder and rearranging the bookmarks within the folder to keep those bookmarks organized and in perfect numerical order, just as the Count expects. So here you can see the Count is entering a customer group into the search. He's navigating to the receivables setup. And now he's going to put a bookmark now that he's at customer groups. It's easy. You can name it anything you like. He's going to add that wonderful screen number here for customer groups from S3 or N4 Lawson. He's going to click Save. We're going to go back to the search, look for process levels in AR. Navigate to the receivable process level and set a bookmark for that. So we've got that screen number. Now we're going to go to Manage Bookmarks, and we're going to add a folder to keep these all organized. We're going to call this our S3 Screen Equivalents bookmark folder. And now we're going to drag and drop those bookmarks that we just created into that folder and go and take a look at it in our bookmarks. So we can drop down here and we see that we have them. However, they're not in numerical order. So that is just not satisfactory. We're going to go and drop down the screen there. Count makes a little error there, but that's okay. And we're going to drag and drop that one above that to get that in wonderful alphanumeric order. Now, as we go and we see it there in our bookmarks. So that's it on the bookmarks and the screen numbers. Do we have any questions regarding that?
Don't
Quite
see
a crowd
anything.
today.
Yeah.
All right. I see some celebrations there. Are we excited about those? Are we excited about those, the search functionality and the bookmark capabilities? I know
I'm
the
just sorry.
Count is.
I'm just sorry we didn't have the Count's, audio. I would have liked to have heard him, chuckling through some of that.
Believe me, he's not very good at that when I'm involved. So, okay. So next question is, we were asked about a little report magic. And the question is, I've heard a report can be created from any list view in FSM. Is that true? If so, is it a scary process? That is completely true, and it's not scary at all. And using a report provides easy access in addition to saved formatting and saved font selection. So let's go check out the magic potion for a report from a list view. So to create a report, you'll want to access the list that you want to create a report from, and it will automatically assign the business class when you do this. Under the options menu, you'll select Create Report. and you'll give the report a descriptive name. You can use your username if the report is public. The sharing option will default to private, but you can change that to public if others will be using this report. For the column tab, you can personalize the list to only include the fields you need for the report. You can delete unneeded fields, add new fields, and rearrange the order in which the fields should appear for your report. On the filter tab, you can enter the criteria for the filter if you know the syntax, or you can click on the magic builder button to open the builder, and it will help you to find the criteria. So a specific note, if a condition like greater than does not exist for the field selected, you can choose equal to and then change the symbol once the criteria is displayed if you use the builder button. On the display tab, you can set a PDF font offset if you know what it will need to be to display your report correctly. A report with more columns may need to be a smaller font to fit each record on one row, or if you have fewer columns, you can enlarge the font size by selecting a larger number. For the data source tab, you can choose to use live data or audit data, and if applicable, the as of date field. To save the report and view the results, you click Create and View Report. And to view the report results at any time, click the My Reports icon from the menu bar below your name. And that's it. Like magic, your report is created from a list view. Do we have any questions related to that one?
Nothing in the chat.
So if we don't have any questions for what was previously presented, then I'd like to open the floor up for additional questions. And if time permits, we'll answer those questions. Or if not, we can do an email, or if you'll provide your email or contact information, we can follow up with you. It's a quiet crowd today. Well, I would like to say,
I just want to know, can I meet the Count in Vegas? Is he coming to Vegas also?
well, the Count would love to come to Vegas, Craig.
All right, because we have a lot of tricks and treats here. Just wondering. Okay.
Well, we hope our Ask Me Anything session has provided some useful information for you today, and maybe even put some of your fears to rest. And we hope we have provided a fun and entertaining environment for you to ask questions. We also hope you have a safe and happy Halloween weekend, whatever kind of mask you may wear. And Dave, I will turn it over to you.
Okay, thanks. Excuse me. Thanks, Rebecca. Hey, that was a great session. Really appreciate you doing it. We really appreciate everybody who joined today. We're just wanting to let you know that this is the wrap-up session for our October Informative Fridays. All of them will be posted out on our YouTube channel for your viewing at your leisure, and please feel free to go out and look at them at any time. We'll be kicking off our next quarterly Informative Friday series in February of 2022. So stay tuned for invites for those, and please follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook, and look for updates on when we may have these things. Oh, and Work Out Loud as well. One more thing we just want to leave you with. Can everybody hear my my spooky sounds? We actually have a really great offering called Coffee with Consultants. What we allow here is for anybody that's in the Infor ecosystem, any Infor customer, to spend 30 minutes over coffee or whatever your beverage of choice is with one of our consultants at no cost, to ask any question, anything about anything to do with your Infor system. So If you are interested in doing that, please visit our website or send an email to molly.velasco@balesllc.com. It's a great offering. It's a good way to get some questions answered, get some understanding on how to accomplish a task that maybe you're not 100% sure how to do at no cost. So again, thanks everybody for joining. Have a great weekend, and we appreciate your time and interest in our organization. Have a good day.
Thank you, Rebecca. Great presentation.
Thanks, guys.
Good job. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Happy Halloween.